We tell ourselves every year.
Merry Christmas Eve. Santa is on the way to the Tennessee Valley. We're tracking his journey. We'll have the very latest coming up.
With coverage you can count on, this is Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 6 in HD.
Merry Christmas Eve, everyone. I'm Cameron Taylor. Thank you for joining us tonight. The final countdown is coming to an end with just one day until Christmas. For those of you still working to finish your holiday shopping, there's still time to get it done. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Tanisha Cordell spoke with some shoppers to see how they're managing the last-minute rush.
We tell ourselves every year next year will be different, but somehow you still end up amongst the crowd at the mall scrambling for last-minute gifts. Just hours away from the big day, hundreds of shoppers found themselves hustling through Hamilton Place Mall, hoping to finish their Christmas shopping, or in some cases, start.
I guess this year, I just didn't really have a choice because I had to work, but I just kind of procrastinate until the end and then have to go do it.
You don't ever think of what you're going to get to the last minute. You get everything, and then all of a sudden you hear the kids that say, I decide I want this or I want that, so here I am.
Mall employees prepare for that holiday procrastination ahead of time and aim to make it a little more fun.
It's very positive. I mean, it's Christmas. Most people usually have a good attitude. They know, they expect lines, they expect it to be busy. So you just go with that. And, this helps, it makes it a little better. People don't get as mad. They don't want to yell at someone who looks like Santa.
But last-minute shopping doesn't just mean crowded stores and chaos. Sometimes you witness good deeds from strangers.
I was actually standing right here, and the lady tapped me on my shoulder, and she said, I picked you out because you had a blue bag, my children's bag that I just bought my baby. And she said, I have a card for you, and don't read it until I leave. She just so happened to pick me out of 5 cars. She had 5 cars with her. And it's 200, maybe 300 people in here, and she picked me out.
A generous gift that brings about the Christmas spirit and makes a difference.
Christmas is actually here, and it ain't been that, it's been a rough month and stuff, and I'm thankful, really thankful.
Now, Hamilton Place Mall will, of course, be closed on Christmas Day, but they'll reopen on Monday from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. In Chattanooga, Tanisha Cordell, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Tanisha. Right now, Santa is making some special deliveries to more than half a dozen families right here in the Tennessee Valley. This morning, his helpers finished packing the Santa train with toys and bicycles. The effort is to make sure no child is forgotten on Christmas. Now, they left around 5:30 to visit 8 families, including one of the affected Woodmore families. Clay Engel with the Forgotten Child Fund says first responders had the chance earlier this week to visit with some of the other Woodmore families for a special Santa train.
When tragedy strikes, it's hard on the first responders, and to get them together with the Woodmore children, that lets everybody know. And this is a special community. We don't have the problems a lot of these big cities does. And I hope that's because everybody understands each other and we work together to make a better place.
Now, this year's effort helped more than 10,000 kids in our area. Each child received somewhere between 5 to 7 toys apiece. And right now we have a crew tagging along with the Santa train. We'll bring you that story of how they're making sure each child is getting a Christmas like no other tonight at 11. Well, many people spent their Christmas Eve giving back to the community. Volunteers with the Salvation Army helped feed those less fortunate and provide a warm place for people. Now, Salvation Army representatives say they fed close to 400 people this morning. They also handed out backpacks filled with supplies such as hand warmers, gloves, toboggans, and toiletries. Volunteers say giving is what the holiday season is all about.
Well, according to Scripture, the Lord says, the poor you'll have with you always. Some just fall on hard times and they need it. Others find themselves, that may have just lost a job. So even though we wish we didn't have that problem in this community, we know it exists. And so through the generosity of the citizens of the Chattanooga area, we're able to pack these backpacks and provide this for these families.
The community kitchen will also be open tonight for anyone in need of a hot meal. New at 6, one of Chattanooga's heroes from the terror attack is being promoted by the police department. Chief Fred Fletcher tweeted out tonight that Officer Dennis Pettigo will now be a sergeant. He was one of the first officers on scene during the July 16th terror attack last year. He fearlessly ran toward the gunfire to stop a heavily armed terrorist and was shot in the leg. Now, fellow officers helped carry him out, and Sergeant Pettigo was pinned by his father, who was the first Sergeant Pettigo. We here at Channel 3 congratulate him on all of his hard work and wish him the very best. Well, Chattanooga police are investigating a possible hit and run. Dispatchers say a 25-year-old woman was hit by a GMC SUV around 1 o'clock this morning on Central Avenue at the Kankakee gas station. Now, they also tell us the SUV drove off from the scene. And as for the woman, we're told she was taken to the hospital. The extent of her injuries are unclear right now. Well, officers also need your help finding the person responsible for a shooting on Northmore Road. They say it happened just after 7:30 last night. Police say they found one person with a gunshot wound and they were taken to the hospital. Now, at last check, they were listed in stable condition. Police believe the shooter was driving a dark-colored Ford Escape. If you know anything about either case, call Chattanooga Police. Well, we're now hearing from the man who found 3 dead dogs on the side of the road near the Chattanooga airport this week. Larry Marler found the dogs on a level field loop. There was a male and female pit bull and a pit bull puppy about 8 months old. It appears the dogs had starved to death and were dumped on the side of the road by their owners. Now, all 3 dogs had collars on them, but no tags or microchips.
My heart sank. I have 2 dogs. To see somebody do that to a dog is just, he had no chance. None of them did.
It took a while for them to get emaciated, so somebody had to see these 3 dogs in someone's backyard, and they're no longer there.
Now, Director Tiffany Newcomb says evidence shows the dogs had been dead for less than 24 hours before they were found. McCamey is offering a $3,000 reward for anyone with information leading to an arrest. We have more information on our website, wrcbtv.com. Eastridge police are keeping an eye out for the person who stole several Christmas packages from homes this week. One neighbor's security camera on South St. Mark's Avenue caught this person red-handed, and he's one of many in the neighborhood complaining about the thief. Eastridge police say 4 similar thefts were reported Thursday, all around or after 6 o'clock at night.
It makes me feel sad because that people feel they need to do this.
Now, Eastridge police say no one has been arrested yet. If you have any information, give them a call. Well, it was a magical night for children in McMinn County. Several housing projects received a special stop from Santa Claus. And Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Sarah Syrie tells us why Santa's quick visit was extra meaningful for some neighbors.
I heard the sirens, and then at first we thought something bad happened, but then we heard holiday music, and so I started running through the neighborhood screaming, "Santa's here!"
Special visits from Santa himself, making stops in neighborhoods across Athens.
Hi there! There's a candy cane.
Surprising kids and their parents, too.
I'm like, "Are you guys not excited? It's Santa Claus!" And I gathered up all the kids I could so we could run up here and just attack and love Santa.
You're welcome. Thank you.
While the sleigh gets prepped for its Christmas Eve flight, a white pickup truck drove Santa to several housing projects across town.
There you go, sweetie.
It's a miracle.
And we hand out candy canes to kids and we talk to them. So they get a little taste of Santa coming early.
Merry Christmas. And what I really want is to see you on Christmas Eve.
For some families, this is Santa's only stop this year.
We're not doing much this year for Christmas. We have a little Christmas tree, but that's it.
But no matter how many presents are under the tree, Smiles like these are the greatest gifts.
It's nice to have something good happen around the neighborhood, you know. We don't get it often, so it's a real pleasure. It's a real treat, especially around the holidays.
Sarah Sider reporting for us. Now, if you're traveling for Christmas, be prepared for some traffic. AAA predicts more than 100 million Americans will be on the road this weekend, making it the busiest travel season on record. Now, this year's holiday travel period runs through January 2nd, but if you're traveling through Tennessee or Georgia for the holidays, here's some good news for you. Both departments of transportation are limiting construction and lane closures for easier and safer travel. For those of you who are looking for something other than the traditional Christmas meal and don't feel like cooking, well, several restaurants will be open tomorrow. Denny's will be serving meals all 24 hours of Christmas Day with breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Last year, Denny's welcomed 1.6 million guests on Christmas, making it the diner's busiest day for the 6th consecutive year. And Starbucks will also be open with hours varying by location, as well as Waffle House. They'll be open too. Well, up next on Eyewitness News at 6, the NYPD is making sure everyone stays safe this holiday season. They are amping up security just days after the terror attack that claimed 12 lives in Berlin.
We had a cloudy and a drizzly day off and on. That's what I meant to say. I'll let you know if it's going to dry out and warm up as we head into Christmas. For tomorrow, I'll have your 7-day forecast coming up next.
With coverage you can count on, this is Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 6 in HD.
Well, welcome back. Santa Claus is heading to town and he is on his way right now, and we are tracking Santa live right now. All right, let's see where he is right now. All right, he's heading to Mauritania, so he's in Africa right now.
All right.
Yeah.
That's a lot of ground to cover over there.
Yes, it is. So he'll be getting to the States eventually tonight. And look at the number of gifts he's delivered so far, Nick. More than 3 billion.
He's a little more than halfway done, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like 7 billion people in the world, so he has a little ways to go, but he has all night, so
He does.
I think he'll make it.
I think he'll make it as well. And, you know, you can keep up with this on our website and also on our app as well to see where Santa is and when he eventually arrives here to the Tennessee Valley.
Yes.
A lot of kids are waiting on that visit.
Yep.
And they've left out the cookies, the milk, the carrots for the reindeer, all that stuff.
It's going to be a little mild here when he arrives tonight.
Okay, let's hear about that.
Especially for Christmas Eve. Our live downtown Holiday Inn camera, nice shot at the aquarium. We have cloudy skies out there right now, but not a whole lot of rain. We'll take a look at the radar in just a moment. Top weather headline, we will see a little bit of rain tonight, mostly just some drizzle off and on, and we saw some of that during the day today. It'll be warm for Christmas Day, about 20 degrees warmer than it should be on a normal Christmas. And then we'll have some more rain coming off and on during the course of next week. 50s and low 60s across the state. Some really mild evening temperatures for Christmas Eve. 54 in Nashville, it's 60 in Memphis, 67 in Atlanta, and it's 52 up in Knoxville. Right here in Chattanooga, it is 55 degrees at Level Field. Cleveland also at 55. Dalton is warmed up to 59. So that little wedge of warm air to the south is moving closer to us at 63 in Fort Payne. And up in Pikeville, it's about 53 degrees, a light wind out of the north. The winds have been kind of switching directions off and on. We've had a little front that has been kind of wavering back and forth north and south across the area today. With that, we still have some patchy areas of light rain and drizzle just moving from west to east across the area. Most of it's north of the city right now. And that's what we'll expect to see through the rest of your Christmas Eve, including the overnight hours. Just a few patches of rain and drizzle here and there. We'll see a lot of cloudy skies. But overall, temperatures will be in check, and they won't really cool off a whole lot tonight, so we'll still be in the 50s most of the night. Now, tomorrow on your Christmas Day, it'll start off kind of cloudy, and there could be some patchy drizzle, but by the afternoon, we'll see some glimmers of sunlight mixing with the clouds, so it'll be a brighter afternoon, southerly winds, warm temperatures tomorrow, way too warm for a Christmas. Probably won't reach a record, but it's certainly going to be really mild out there, and we'll see more clouds coming in tomorrow night with some patchy drizzle as you head back to work if you have to on Monday. But overall, it's shaping up to be a nice Christmas day. We hit 56 for a high today at the airport and a low of 51, so not a big spread there in temperatures with all the clouds and the occasional rain and drizzle that we had. Only 0.02 of an inch of rain out at the airport. 63 was the high in Chatsworth today, and look at Scottsboro at 67, so the warm air was off to the south. Not a lot of rain reports, but Briceville picked up about a half an inch. Our Skywatcher Cindy there, 2/10 in Delano. 1/10 for Mowbray Mountain, Lakesite, and Soddy Daisy. About 8/10 up in Pikeville. That was one of the larger amounts. And Charlottetown and Murphy picked up each 2/10. So patchy drizzle and light rain off and on for tonight, a low of 50. Up to 70 degrees tomorrow afternoon on Christmas with afternoon sunshine coming back. And then 55 with more clouds tomorrow night. And then Monday, only a small chance of rain. We'll have highs in the 60s. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, off and on rain with highs still in the 50s. So it's going to be mild all week until Friday. We dry out and highs only in the 40s, if you can believe that. It's going to feel like winter on Friday after a spring-like day on Christmas.
Yes, certainly not seeing a white Christmas here.
Unfortunately not.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Nick.
You bet.
Well, security around the nation is being stepped up this weekend as police keep a close eye on places of worship for the holidays. NBC's Morgan Radford reports.
Heavy guns and police barricades. Not the type of holiday ornaments you'd expect to see around the Christmas tree.
We've seen some of the cops carrying, look like either AK-47s or assault rifles.
Just a little extra alert, I think, keep an extra eye on your kids and your bags.
This week's attack on a Berlin marketplace left 12 people dead. A fresh reminder to major cities across the world on holiday alert. In London, more police patrolling the palace.
Policemen are everywhere, so yeah.
While Australian authorities charged 4 suspects for allegedly plotting a Christmas Day attack.
It is a time of happiness and joy. These terrorists sought to disrupt it. They have been thwarted. They are in custody.
Here at home, it's as much about prevention as it is response. In Boston and Philadelphia, more police have been assigned to patrol holiday sites since the Berlin attack, while the FBI currently investigates claims that ISIS supporters called for attacks against American churches.
It's important to put this in context. It did not come from ISIS. Most ISIS sources online have no idea what this is or where it came from, so it's by no means official.
In New York, security lined up at the historic St. Patrick's Cathedral. Greater police presence often routine during the holidays. And this year, a specially trained police unit armed with guns to respond to potential shooters.
You can't protect every place all the time, or you protect nothing. So we do analysis of high visibility locations, high traveled locations, and then we protect them.
And flowers and candles on Christmas Eve dominated the Christmas market in Berlin, which was the site of the truck attack that killed 12 people. Now, the market reopened on Thursday with a makeshift memorial of candles, flowers, and flags laid in tribute to those killed. People continued to lay flowers at the site today, and a Tunisian fugitive wanted in the deadly attack was killed in a shootout with police yesterday in a suburb of Milan, Italy. Now, the attack has heightened concerns across Europe in the days leading up to Christmas. Frightening moments for travelers aboard a Libyan commercial plane carrying more than 100 people. Two hijackers took control and threatened to blow up the plane with hand grenades. After safely landing at the airport in Malta and letting small groups of passengers go, the two hijackers eventually surrendered peacefully and allowed the remaining passengers and crew to leave the airplane to waiting buses. The pilot told officials the hijackers were seeking political asylum in Europe. Well, up next on Eyewitness News at 6, sports reporter Jill Jelnick will have a look at your sports headlines. Stay with us.
Holiday season can be so busy at times that it's The holiday season can be so busy at times that it's easy to take for granted all the things we're already given. One little girl from Chattanooga who faces challenges most 10-year-olds don't strives every day to perform at her very best. Not only is she an inspiration to those around her, but also a reminder to never lose sight of your dreams.
At first glance, Abigail Bean fits right in with the rest of the girls at Tennessee Academy of Gymnastics. But she has an additional challenge that most gymnasts don't face.
I have a lack of pigment behind my eye. Just makes them kind of blurry, like I can still see the colors, but the details and stuff is just blurred.
After she was born, Abigail was diagnosed with ocular albinism and infantile nystagmus, conditions that left her legally blind. But that's never stopped her from reaching for the bars.
I use my other senses to do gymnastics. I have to make sure I'm holding on, and then I pretty much just know the flip. Sometimes the higher bar isn't like focused right, it's blurry. So I would lean over and then touch the bar and know that I'm on the other bar, and then I can let my feet go.
While the 10-year-old already knows she wants to compete at the college level someday, she has another dream.
So one of my goals is to go to the Olympics and be the first legally blind gymnast to make it to the Olympics. They do some of the biggest flips that you can pretty much do, so I think it's really interesting.
Abigail admits she has more difficulty with everyday tasks than most kids her age, but she refuses to let frustration get the best of her.
I have thought of giving up a couple of times, but you just got to keep trying. Don't let any eye disorders or any other thing hold you back from doing what you want to do.
Abigail is a level 3 gymnast and just started competing last year. In one of her matches, she medaled in every event and finished second on the uneven bars. For more on her story, you can go to our website, wrcbtv.com. We'll take one last look at your weather when we come back. And Merry Christmas from Channel 3 Sports.
in Africa.
He's
and
still over there.
Yeah, he's still over there. It's going to take some time, but he'll eventually be right here in the Tennessee Valley. And when he does, what's it going to look like for him?
It's going to be pretty mild tonight.
Okay.
Now, we'll be in the 50s all evening. That's mild for Christmas Eve. I want to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas Eve and a Happy Hanukkah. It's the first night of Hanukkah. Tomorrow, Christmas Day, warm, some sunshine in the afternoon with a high of 70 degrees. Can you believe that?
Wow, okay. Well, Santa turned in his sleigh for a surfboard this morning in Florida, and hundreds of surfers dressed in Santa costumes hit the water at Cocoa Beach for the 8th annual Christmas Eve Surfing Santa Extravaganza. And, you know, thousands of people were there from shore as Santa surfed, paddled, rode the waves. And, you know, of course, this event raises money for charity. And some of the organizations include the Florida Surf Museum and Grind for Life, which provides financial assistance for cancer patients needing to travel for treatment.
That is
great.
great.
It's a pretty cool event
And it
right
looks
there.
fun, too.
It does.
The beach looks so nice.
Yeah, it looks really nice. All right, we'll be right back here at 11. We'll see you then.